if you've invested in crypto, you're in some major trouble. And yes, I'm going to repeat it one more time. If you have invested in crypto, then you are in major trouble if you're thinking on selling exactly here. Because yes, we can see that the price movement of Bitcoin is taking this dump towards the downside. We didn't get this breakout exactly from these levels, but guys, ultimately this is still a major manipulation to get you out of the market, and I'm going to explain you exactly why. Because yes, maybe you came into the crypto space to get these kind of profits in a short period of time, but guys, you really need to focus on the stats, because these are the yearly crypto bubbles. And yes guys, if you would have invested 1 year ago, you would have had these major profits on Solana, 645%, even though we're seeing this major correction and the overall crypto market. Because yes, let's go back on the monthly chart. And yes, if you've invested at the top and if you bought any of these projects, you're in a major loss at the moment. But guys, I'm going to tell you exactly why this is the market manipulating you and exactly what mindset you need to have in these periods of time. Because yes, we're going to look at the charts of Bitcoin, but we're also going to look at some altcoins. But most importantly, we're going to focus on our mindset during this major dump towards the downside. And we're going to start on the daily chart of Bitcoin. And yes, if you're new to this channel, guys, smash up the like button and subscribe, and welcome back to B4Crypto. Yes, we're seeing this dump for Bitcoin at the moment, but ultimately guys, this is nothing to stress about, and you shouldn't consider selling any of your crypto exactly here. Yes, I know exactly what you're going through. If you bought the top on any cryptocurrencies and you're in a major loss, at the moment we can see that Bitcoin, all the way from the previous all-time high, which was also the range high, dumped all the way back down. And yes, we had this correction of 23%, but at the moment from the local high, which was exactly here, we could see that the price movement is at the moment down 16%. And ultimately during these bull markets, we could always expect these 20% corrections. If we're going to zoom out, yes, we can see that this is absolutely normal. If you would have bought the top exactly here, you also had this 20% correction all the way back down to this range low, but afterwards guys, we saw this massive breakout towards the upside. So yes, these consolidation phases, accumulation phases, or exactly how I like to call them, manipulation phases of Bitcoin. Because yes, if we go over to the longer time frames of Bitcoin on the monthly chart, and yes, this means that each and every candlestick represents 1 month. So ultimately guys, we can see all of the Bitcoin cycles, the previous halvenings that has been exactly here, these vertical red lines. And afterwards guys, we saw after we broke this very important previous resistance and also support, in this case the candle close from the previous all-time high in the year 2017, we saw this bullish parabolic breakout towards the upside, forming a new all-time high for Bitcoin. And even here, we could see as soon as we broke this very important resistance, we saw this major pump towards the upside. And yes guys, you're at the moment exactly in these levels. And yes, maybe you bought the top on some of these coins, but this also was the case exactly here. If you would have bought in this major accumulation phase, yes guys, you would have been down quite a lot in this accumulation phase. And if Bitcoin goes down 10%, the altcoins go down even stronger. But guys, if we're going to see this turnaround, which is going to happen, this is just a major manipulation. If we go back on the daily chart, this was exactly what I told you. In these regions where I told you maximum pain for Bitcoin is not going to be a dump all the way back down, maybe even to the $40,000 level, or even to the $30,000, where we had this previous major support exactly here, round about the $39,000, because a lot of people expected this after we saw this resistance exactly here, or even all the way up here, where we saw this bearish move exactly to these levels. And what did we see? Yes, we saw these fast moves towards the downside and these fast recoveries all the way back up. And this is exactly what we can see for the price movement of Bitcoin. Yes, we came all the way back up to the 38.2 Fibonacci retracement level, and now we are seeing this correction. And yes, Bitcoin is at the moment dumping quite a lot. We can see that we're at the moment at $60,100. I wouldn't be surprised if we're going to get a bounce at the $60,000 level and a bounce all the way back up to the 23.6. And yes, we could dump even lower to my worst case scenario, being all the way down here at the daily 200 moving average, exactly within this red box. And this is all the way at $58,000. So ultimately ultimately guys, yes, we could even break this level towards the downside, but I expect if we're going to come within this region that we're going to see an extreme fast move all the way back up above this major important levels, because ultimately guys, this isn't the point to sell. You need to really zoom out to find out where we are at the moment, and that this is going to be this major cool off phase, this accumulation, and this is exactly what you should be doing. Yes guys, you should dollar cost average into these cryptocurrencies exactly within these regions, because if we go back in history, these would have been great entry points exactly within these consolidation phases before this next major leg towards the upside. And yes guys, I know it can be extremely fearful if you're holding any kind of cryptocurrencies, and for that we're going to go over to Link, because yes, maybe you bought the top for Link exactly within these levels, round about the levels of $23, and afterwards we just saw this dump towards the downside all the way from your entry point all the way up here, all the way to the lows. This would have been a dump of nearly 50%, 49% to be precise. But let's go back in time. If you would have bought the top exactly here, you would have seen this major dump of yes 72%. And yes, now you have to ask yourself the question, would have this been a great opportunity to sell your investment after a loss of round about 50%? No guys, because afterwards it went only up. So yes, you need to really focus on the time frame that you're going to invest in, because you've entered the market exactly here. So you should wait for the next major parabolic move, which is going to happen exactly here. Because yes, maximum pain is no dump towards the downside and a quick recovery. No, it is a long, boring and frustrating move for the overall crypto market, and a lot of retail investors are going to be pushed out exactly here, selling all of their cryptocurrencies in a loss. And this is exactly what the market wants you to do. They want you to sell so that the major corporations and the major whales can load up and buy all of your cryptocurrencies. Because yes, I posted this a few days ago. In 2017, these events would have been unimaginable. Today, they are barely making headlines. Sony is launching a cryptocurrency exchange. Do you even know what this means? Sony, with all the PlayStations, maybe going to incorporate crypto payments. This is just huge. Michael Dell is tweeting about Bitcoin. Public companies are purchasing Bitcoin. The Bitcoin ETF has become the most successful ETF of all times. Trump has embraced cryptocurrencies. A state pension fund has bought Bitcoin. JP Morgan and BNP Paribas and Bank of New York Mellon have bought Bitcoin. The first major banks are buying Bitcoin. Morgan Stanley is about to allow its 15,000 brokers to recommend Bitcoin ETFs to their clients. This is huge guys, and most importantly, BlackRock is buying Bitcoin for 3 of their own funds. So yes, this is the beginning of a major parabolic run, and all of these major companies and institutions, they just want to push you out of the market. Because if we go back in time guys, yes, your time horizon must be extremely clear, and you're exactly here before this next major parabolic phase, all the way up to a new all-time high. So the message is clear guys, you're in some major trouble if you're going to sell any of your cryptocurrencies at these prices. Because yes, ultimately guys, you're all here to get these major profits, but you need to invest with a specific time horizon. And if you invested exactly now and you're down, just hold and dollar cost average even more. And guys, yes, if we go on the weekly chart or even on the monthly bubbles, these are the discounts that you're going to get in the immediate short term. Because ultimately, if we go back over to Link, yes, we saw this 40% dump exactly here, 72 to be precise, exactly at the previous halvening guys. And yes, all the way from these lows where you would have sold your Link, being in a loss, we saw a pump of yes 2,800%. Yes, maybe we're not going to get this major move, but ultimately guys, we could expect that Link is going to come to conservative price target, the 1.618 Fibonacci retracement level from the previous all-time high all the way to the bottom. This would be a measured price target, a conservative price target of round about $77. And yes, we could even round it up to a round number, which is going to be the $100 all the way up here. And yes, this would be a 500 or even a 700% pump, being conservative, that we could reach within this bull market. And yes, 700% profit. And you're concerned that you bought the top exactly here and that you're in a loss of round about 50%. And believe me, we're so close to the bottom. If we go over to the monthly chart of Bitcoin, if we're going to take the measured move from the previous halving exactly towards this breakout point, where we could see that the price movement of Bitcoin broke this horizontal level. This was exactly 183 days. And if we go to the second halving, yes, we can see from this level all the way to the point where we broke out from this horizontal level exactly here with this parabolic run. This was exactly 184 days, so just 1 day longer. And if we're going to look at this measured price target exactly from the halving that we just had all the way to 184 days, or let's say 183 days. And yes, this would mark the date of the 1st of October exactly here. So ultimately guys, you still have some time to accumulate, but maybe we're going to see this push higher or even just to the previous highs before the 1st of October, because ultimately guys, we are seeing a lot of buying pressure from all these major institutions. So yes, focus on the bullish news, and ultimately guys, dollar cost average into these major discounts. And if you always want to stay up to date and know which altcoins you should buy, guys, make sure to subscribe, smash up the like button, and if you don't know what I've been talking about, make sure to watch the previous videos. But most importantly guys, be for crypto, and we see each other in the next video.